Hello guys, my name is Neel and I am an intern at the Sparks Foundation and I have been given a simple task 1 for prediction using supervised machine learning. And in this task, I have to calculate the percentage of marks of a student based on the number of study hours, which is given as 9.25 hours. And I have used linear regression supervised machine learning algorithm and have used 7 steps to build the model, which is importing the dataset, visualizing the dataset, and data preparation, training the algorithm, visualizing the model, making predictions, and evaluating the model. Now we jump to the step number 1. So guys, in step number 1, I'm just importing the data set and through the link with the help of pandas library, and I will just observe the data. And as we can see, I've used pandas and matplotlib. Pandas for reading the data and matplotlib for visualizing the data. Here I've used the read CSV function to read the URL from the given URL, and I've used the head function to to get the first 5 data from the given dataset, and I also use similarly tail function to observe the last 5 data from the given dataset, and I've used the shape function to get the number of rows and columns. And as you can see, there are 25 rows and 2 columns. And also I find the I've also used the info function to get the information about our dataset, like how many columns are there, their names, and how many null counts are there, and the data types, and also its memory usage. I also used the describe method, and the describe method is used for calculating the statistical data like percentile, mean, count, and standard deviation of the numerical values and the series of the data frame. I've also used the null or missing values, uh, I've used the isNull function and the sum function, and hence there are no null values, so hence no pre-processing is needed in the dataset, and we are good to go for the visualizing step. And hence the next step is visualizing of the dataset. So in this step, we will be visualizing the dataset using matplotlib, and hence, as you can see, I've made a graph of hours versus percentage, and from the data, it looks like there is a linearity in the dataset. And as you can see, the more the number of hours of studied, more the percentage score by the student, and hence there is a linear relationship between hours studied and percentage score, so we can use linear regression supervised machine learning model to predict the further values. And hence I've used dot corr function, which is correlation between the dot correlation function to find correlation between the two variables. And now we go to step number 3, that is data preparation. So in this step, we will divide the data into features and labels. After that, we will split the whole data set into 2 parts for testing and training the data. So as you can see, I've used ilog function for dividing the values, the data into the arrays of x and y. And as you can see, the x values are in the array of the column of hours, which is 2.5 to 7.1. There are 25 rows. Uh, all in one array. And similarly I've done for y, where it shows all the percentage score. And now I am splitted the data into training and testing using scikit-learn. And we can see that I've used xtrain, xtest, ytrain, ytest, and I use 20% as the size of the testing data, and rest 80% is for training the data. So now we go to next step, which is training the algorithm. So we have splitted our data into testing and training in the last step, and now we will train our model. So for training our model, I've simply used a linear regression function as per the need, and as we can see, I've imported it from the scikit-learn. And in step 5, we will be visualizing the model. So now let's jump to step 5. In the last step I have trained the model and now it's time to visualize it. Here I have used scatter plot for representing the graph of relationship between two variables, linear relationship between two variables. As we can see, there is a line which is y is equals to mx plus c, which has been plotted, and it shows the relationship between the two variables, which is the hours studied and the percentage scored. And yeah, we can see that more the number of hours, more the percentage. And now I've done the same thing for testing the data, and now I will go to the next step, which is making the predictions. And in this step we have trained the algorithm, and now it's time to make some prediction. And here I've used y prediction model for predicting the scores, and y test for testing for printing the tested values. And now I'm comparing the both the predicted as well as the uh, actual value which was being given in the data set, and it says that it is similar to what, like the actual versus predictor is very much close. Like, I guess there is something around 10% error, but it's negligible. So as we can see that the actual values was 20 and predictor is 16, 27 it is 33, and similarly, like 69 it has become 75, which is predicted, and 30 is 26. So it goes on. And in this code, in this thing, we have to test our own data, which was given as 9.25. And in this thing I've given hours, which is 9.25, and I've own prediction function which has been created, which is model.predict and hours, which has been which has to be calculated. And then simply I've predicted the outcome, and hence the predicted scores come out to be 93.69% for 9.25 hours. And hence it could be concluded that the predicted score if a person studies for 9.25 hours is 93.69. And now I will be evaluating the model. So in step 7 I have just evaluated the model and found the mean absolute error, and it comes out to be 4.81, and it is lower. Hence we can say that our model is well trained and is perfect for the data set given. And hence thank you for watching this video, and please do comment your valuable feedbacks.